By 1937, the New Deal was helping America lift itself out of the Great Depression. But then, when Roosevelt cut government spending, the bubble burst. The nation experienced a sudden recession that lasted nearly a year. In June of 1938, Congress authorized more funding for public works and passed the Fair Labor Standards Act, which created a minimum wage and improved working conditions. As the decade began to wind down and conditions improved, many people could see that the New Deal hadn't just changed the course of the Great Depression, it had changed the course of American government.
The New Deal has a number of legacies. First, it's got some very obvious political legacies. It dramatically increases the power of the president. Secondly, the New Deal establishes the federal government as the dominant level of government. The New Deal also provides a notion of security, a notion that government should provide basic security for people, a safety net. The New Deal has legacies for farmers. Agricultural policy is permanently changed, and farmers look to the federal government often critically, sometimes positively, but clearly the nature of American agriculture will never again be considered apart from actions of the federal government. The New Deal also stimulates a labor movement. It creates for a number of decades a labor movement which has substantial impact on public policy and raises living conditions, wages and living conditions for American workers to levels far above those elsewhere in the world.
But the New Deal was not without serious flaws. It was criticized for not doing more for America's racial and ethnic minorities. While they benefited from federal jobs, housing, schools, and hospitals, and while many tenant farmers and sharecroppers became farm owners, they still had a long way to go. African Americans were forced to take inferior jobs, work for lower wages, and use separate facilities from white Americans.